Hello everybody, today I'm announcing the new version of iStudio year 2017. This version, many times I told you, iStudio is not only the virtual studio, but also this is new virtual presentation device. I don't have any person around me. As you see here, we have I have a screen in front, so there is a projector screen. So I'm doing my presentation, watching my screen over there. I would say this is a flipped teaching because the teacher in the back, students in the front. So it's a little bit different from flipped learning. That's why I'm telling this is flipped teaching. So the students watching front, what I'm claiming is watching that screen where I'm not in the front but in the back, so every people watching that screen is actually not worse than watching when I teach in the front. So that means the video you are watching is exactly the same the video in the classroom. So if watching that video is better than watching normal classroom, which means same thing we are showing in the smart device. So every people inside the classroom and outside the classroom can see the same content as I'm doing. I am emphasizing the iStudio presentation. It's really changing paradigm of classroom, paradigm of presentation. So far, all the classroom was divided by 30 people, 50 people, 100 people, because the teacher has to show him and also blackboard together. Once we make a new way of virtual electric whiteboard where I can show my PowerPoint. So I can just bring my PowerPoint here, I just make a presentation video. Let's say, so the presentation I'm learning like that way, and then I just bring this presentation here. I'm just pointing out iStudio year 2017 new innovation release. So the next slide I show this kind of studio. It looks a very simple studio over there, but actually the output from here is no difference from Millionaire Studio. The normal fabric, I invented the Chromedio, which is installed in any place. If you have a 2 meter by 3 meter space, it's enough for you to build such a quick studio. But the result is very beautiful. We just worry about the result. We are not worried about how the construction made. So this studio just a building within 1.5 hours, then everybody can start presentation immediately. Now the iStudio, the micro station, very small station here, easily constructed, and then you can build many beautiful studio in a minute. So iStudio has capability of you do presentation in the virtual classroom, which you can create all the virtual classroom in a minute without any difficulties. Unlimited studios you can build. For example, I can show you quickly. I believe everybody knows already my new patent. This studio, basically we have a very different background. So from here, I can show you something like that way. The background picture, very simply you can change using the different one. For example, I can bring this kind of animation video. Of course, iStudio, when you install the machine, this one comes with many beautiful content together. So you don't have to download from Google, but you can just using what we are providing there. Anything like this we can change. Anything you can put any picture like that way, or you can bring something like that way. So let's try to make some photo, picture like this, and then let's bring some 3D decoration. It's like you are putting some set in the studio. For example, I can bring this kind of some decoration, then immediately it looks like something different. Of course, you can make this one slightly bigger and smaller very easily, and also we can change the color like that way. So different color make a studio different way. And anything in the floor, I can put the floor like that, and also the ceiling, I can change the ceiling with anything like let's say similar ceiling like that way. This is the studio immediately we create. Left screen, of course, you can put iStudio, and of course you can change the color without any Photoshop designer. You can build every studio by yourself. And the right screen, let's put some Tarim logo name. Same time you can put some colors, and of course you can make some transparency to show in the background. After that, you just making the scene like this. So all the studio I'm showing here is making very nicely. The iStudio, all the rest, after you make a studio, you can make a presentation like I'm doing. All the rest part, broadcasting, streaming, YouTube, Africa, Skype, Zoom, everything is integrated with iStudio. You don't need to have another machine for conferencing. You don't need any other machines for broadcasting. This one take care of everything by the iStudio. So this one can install in any space like this, or in the meeting room, or in the classroom. It automatically become your studio, your meeting room, as a virtual office to show presentation over any place in the world. So if you look at the technology innovation in iStudio I made is, the first innovation we made is you can create studio without any designer. If you look at all the studio like this, every studio has to have some studio. They make a set, they make some walls, they bring some nice things inside to make a beautiful color from the camera. And of course you need a cameraman, and when you have a multiple camera, you can imagine how many cameramans you need to have there. So iStudio, as you are watching now, we have a many different angle, different scene, which flexibly you can change. If, for example, now in iStudio you can set the screen size. For example, I want to make a smaller size. Yes, you can make a smaller size or a different scale. Even you can make a rotation. Everything is straightforward. Every different scene you can change the scene. For example, here I want to make the screen slightly higher. You can do that way. And you can of course make a zooming in, zooming out very easily like this way to make a bigger actor and smaller actor. And of course you can make a left side. So every camera scene you can place in the virtual classroom. So this camera, individual camera, up to 12 cameras you can freely assign, as like you do 12 different cameramen setting the cameras. So this kind of the camera action make a very dynamic scene change. So students who is watching this video output automatically make attention to watch this video. Of course, if I look at my camera, then automatically my eye going to your eye. Not only yourself, but also all the students in the classroom, and also all the people who is watching my video. It's like you are watching me. I'm telling to camera, but everybody watching my face, my eyes. This is very important for creation. Another thing I am emphasizing is the video. The presentation video, the iStudio video is different from normal MOOC video or any other video you are watching so far. The big difference is we are bringing teacher very big like this. We are bringing teacher in a beautiful studio. We are bringing the teacher always different dynamic scene, which make a completely different way of concentration of the students. That's why the studio design to make a nice, and also camera action for without a cameraman very important. Imagine if you do presentation with many cameramen around. Not only distraction, but also they don't know which scene they have to show. The best person who decide what he wants to show in the smart screen is the teacher, is you. You know what you want to show. That's why all the students has to watch what you want to show there. This is what iStudio emphasizes very much. Another big innovation we made in this time is all the switching. It's like I'm doing, my hand is here, nobody's around me. And then camera, when I talk, automatically change the scene to bring different screen on your smart device. This is a new big innovation of this year patent pending technology from Tarim. Now, this is very important that teacher can teach without any operator. As I mentioned, the teacher knows what he wants to show. If he direct the operator to switch something, this is very distracting. That's why the PD person free while you are doing presentation. That's why you can concentrate only on your presentation without worry about camera operation or switch operation. This is very important technology we are finally make. That's why iStudio is the first virtual presenting device. This is not the virtual studio only, but also this is a really presentation device for smart world. So I would say iStudio can change the paradigm of broadcast. If you look at even small studio like in the school, this is a photo from Korean school. They have a camera operator. They have a teacher for doing presentation to the classroom. This is typical school presentation environment. It is almost same as other place too. But once you put iStudio there, no camera operator, only teacher doing himself, doing beautiful presentation directly to the smart device, not only to the classroom. And also the output looks very beautiful comparing to normal presentation using the normal broadcast equipment. This is a big difference. So that's why I show some of the tele-presentation. I would say iStudio presentation is really make a tele-presentation which is better than local presentation. I would say watching the video from local classroom where the teacher is teaching is not better than watching iStudio video output from remote site. This is exactly I show there. For example, I do presentation from London, so I'm doing presentation watching the students in the Korea, which is the Korea Microsoft Office building. They have a conference, so the students watching my video from here while I'm doing presentation, watching their students in my iStudio machine. So the iStudio has a different group. eStudio is a simple notebook version. mStudio is a professional meeting room version, a little bit simpler than iStudio I'm using. iStudio or MicroStation version, iStudio in the classroom version, and also studio version. Everything has the same concept, same technique. Just the difference is more simpler. For example, mStudio has only one screen without this three screen. So sometimes I can show myself, sometimes I can show the students. So I just make up many virtual elective whiteboard. There's like many big classroom. They have many blackboard there. Same thing. We can make a simultaneous screen. So many different way of showing together. So this is the way how I bring new presentation method in the classroom over the smart world. I do believe iStudio is the really opening new era of presentation, and from year 2017 we are providing new more than 400 ready-to-use studio where you can quickly change. The studio I'm using is the most simplest version in iStudio to create studio. You can imagine how nice studios you can do. If you see my YouTube video, you will find many different styles. I cannot make the same studio because we have too many variations to change Same time, you can create your own studio, which is very different from other people. That's why we say iStudio providing your studio in a minute. iStudio providing you very different way of scene change. iStudio providing you automatic presentation. You can do presentation without any operator around you. This is the whole idea we are trying to bring new innovation. iStudio make a presentation over smart world. That means you can make a real telepresentation. Telepresentation system is different from telepresence, which all the other Cisco, Polycom, many people emphasizing telepresence. Bring the presentation person in some place virtually. Using TV screen, they can show presenter there. But we are showing one screen on the smart device, showing all the presentation I'm doing now. This is the new generation. It's time for you to present. It's time for you to record your presentation for the next generation, for the human history. This video will stay forever. I do believe this is the short message. I'm very sorry because my English is not perfect. Of course, I believe you can excuse my Korean English, but this is what I do my best. Please understand and excuse my pronunciation and also my lack of English capability. Thank you very much.